Hey folks, everything new under the sun. I guess these are little Bible prophecy quickies, if you will. And this kind of comes right out of Revelation chapter 13, speaking of the Antichrist who brings in a mark of the beast system after complete and total economic collapse and chaos. And they implement a new world currency, world reserve currency. And that could be coming sooner than you think if this war in Russia-Ukraine goes to World War III and we have complete collapse of society and economic systems, especially if the United States loses this battle. And the Bible seems to indicate that indeed the United States does lose the battle. Did you notice that in Ezekiel 38 and 39, the young lions of Tarshish are only making comments about the invasion of the countries from the north into Israel? They're not doing anything about it. That suggests that the United States is gone or they're severely weakened. That also supports the idea that the world reserve currency has switched at that point in time and they are no longer a world power. And so all they can do are say things. So that's very, very interesting. Ezekiel 38 and 39 seems to indicate that indeed the U.S. is gone from the picture, at least in terms of power and strength. Now, I'll get to those verses in a second. I just want to start it with this article here. Zero Hedge, social credit system, Brazilian style. All UBI, Universal Basic Income recipients must be, you know what? You can read it on the screen there. If you want free money from the government, they're going to require that you do certain things. This is only the tip of the iceberg, folks. And this is all part of CBDC, central bank digital currencies. Oh, if you want to participate in the economy of the country, in the economy of the world, you're going to need to bow down to the government, to the world government, to the world leadership, to what the Antichrist brings into effect. And this CBDC is all part and parcel of ultimately what the Antichrist is going to be using. So what can they do with CBDC? Well, they can set expiry dates on cash. So they can give you $100 and they can force you to make use of it in the next 7 days or 2 weeks, and you won't be able to save it. They'll pull an expiry on it, and if you don't use it up in a certain amount of time, then it will disappear from your account. So this basically forces people to get money into the economy and get it moving around, buying and selling, and this is what they want. So they can put an expiry date on cash that they give you. They can prevent the hoarding of toilet paper. They'll, if you have a digital currency and they see you're buying a whole bunch of toilet paper, they can say, wait a minute, you only have a family of 2 or 3 or 4. You're only allowed so many rolls of toilet paper a week, and they can limit your spending on toilet paper. That's just an example of what has occurred in the past. You and I know it. That happened in North America. Any sort of situation, if you're getting prepared, if you're getting prepped, the time to prep is now, because the government will soon start limiting these things. And of course, they don't want hoarding during an emergency, which everybody's going to do, and they can limit that with digital currencies, okay? Total information awareness. They know exactly what you're buying, who you're buying it from, when you're buying it, and they can see who you're selling it to as well, because once they move to digital currency, there's no more cash anymore. You won't be able to buy, sell, or trade without them knowing about it. Social credit systems. You know what? If you are not towing the company line, if you are in Ottawa and you're a trucker and you're protesting, they're going to freeze your bank account because they're going to encourage you. They're going to basically starve you out of protesting against the government. The government doesn't want you protesting. The world government doesn't want you saying anything against them, just like I got banned on YouTube 2 weeks ago because I was saying something that was against the party line of the World Health Organization. So I was locked down. What will they do when they bring in the CBDC? They'll freeze my account, just like they did to the truckers in Ottawa. If they don't like what you're doing, they'll cut you off. Carbon footprint tracking. This is the big thing. They're going to start tracking everywhere you go, everything you do, and they're going to say, oh, you used a certain amount of fossil fuels. You're not allowed to use any more. That means you won't be able to travel very far. You're going to be limited. You're not going to have options. And again, if you go too far, maybe they'll just pause your bank account for a little while. Here is what I think it was the president, prime minister of Brazil says, let me see if I can find it here. This is from Twitter. Lula. So this Lula person says Brazilians can receive financial aid only if they have taken the you-know-what. Bolsa Familia will require certain thing, the jab certificate from participants. And not only that, and their children. Boy, if you watch Dr. John Campbell, you know that, there may be a cost benefit for people over 70, but, below that, that cost benefit analysis completely changes. And in fact, it's harmful now, as suggested by some. Of course, I'm not allowed to say that because I'm on YouTube and I can't say anything against what the World Health Organization says. But they're saying participants. So if you're a single mother and you need a universal basic income, you need your government check, and many do. Many don't have a lot of options. You're going to have to get your kids, what, and if they have a side effect, government doesn't care. If they have health issues down the road, government doesn't care. And you're not going to get that money if you don't do that to your children. That is scary. It says, if I have 10 you-know-whats to take, I will take all that is necessary, this guy says. This is scary. What are they going to do when there is total CBDC? You won't get your tax refund. You won't be able to get a mortgage for your house. You won't be able to get a bank account unless you are, what? You'll get the jab. You'll get whatever the government says you have to do. You will do whatever they say you will have to do, or otherwise you'll be living in the street under a tree or in a garbage can or something. Literally, you won't be able to do anything. I think we have no idea what it means to not be able to buy, sell, and trade. We do it every day, and we take it for granted. The minute they go to CBDC and you can't do anything digitally because you're locked out of the system, you are literally starving. And if you have dependents, they are starving. They will not be able to do anything, again, unless you follow the government. So, my goodness. Okay, I said I was going to go to this here. This is my timeline of the return of the Lord. You can see in the red there, Revelation chapter 13, happening in the last days when the beast comes, the Antichrist comes, and he sets up himself as the world leader during the middle of a great crisis, to the point where everybody will accept him because they're so desperate. Absolute economic collapse, worldwide famine, World War III is occurring, and he says, I will bring peace to the world. You just need to accept my mark and bow down to me, effectively. Revelation chapter 13, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Boy, you talk about those videos that ChatGPT can make, those real life videos. You don't know what videos are real anymore. We're almost at that point where, deep fakes and such, you will have no idea what is real. And could ChatGPT be used to create the image of an Antichrist figure that is healed from a mortal wound miraculously, maybe even does miracles by way of, ChatGPT and artificial intelligence creating videos that, we otherwise have no way to confirm or deny. And that would trick a lot of people. You wouldn't be able to tell. It goes on, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, maybe through artificial intelligence, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. So man sees it, apparently, and is deceived. And that goes right into verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, and they should make an image of the beast. So creating these idols. Remember in 1 Samuel, the idol Dagon was knocked over each night when the Ark of the Covenant was there. It fell down and worshipped God. But he's going to make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Again, artificial intelligence creating real life videos that you and I can't tell and wouldn't be able to prove whether they are real or not. And he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You could think about this as completely AI as well. Satan gave life to maybe artificial intelligence in a way that it controls news outlets, it controls Twitter, it controls YouTube. It puts out videos and propaganda that you can't tell apart from real life people. And so a lot of people are going to be consumed and tricked by it. And it goes into a verse, and cause that as many that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't worship, if you don't follow along, if you don't play along, if you don't join the world economy, you could be killed during this time and should be killed according to verse 15. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both rich and poor, small and great, rich and poor, let me just highlight it there. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Read the King James Version. In their right hand, in their foreheads. That's a technology statement. And that no man might buy or sell. You will be locked out of the complete economic system. That means you will not be able to go to the grocery store. You will not be able to buy an apple. You will not be able to buy a coffee. You will not be able to go fill up your car with gasoline. You will be locked out. You will be on the side of the road. You will have no options. No one will want to deal with you because their accounts will be frozen. Remember people dealing with the truckers and selling the truckers? They were at risk of the banks freezing their accounts, so they didn't want to deal with the truckers in some cases. And the truckers were resorting to cash on hand. They were taking out cash. The government couldn't control cash because you can't trace cash. But you know what? That's what they want to get rid of. They want to get rid of cash because they can't control it. So you will be completely locked into this economic system. And if you don't want to worship the beast and take this mark in your right hand or forehead, you will literally be starving on the side of the road. Not many people are going to have a lot of options. It's going to be chaos. And most people are going to say, I can't deal with this. I need to eat. So they're going to take the mark. They're going to cave to the pressure and do this. I have 3 kids to feed. And so they're going to cave to the pressure. I have elderly parents in my house, and we need a roof over our head. Otherwise, we will die. We need medical attention, and they will be forced and coerced to take the mark of the beast. Sounds like something else, doesn't it? And boy, we were really limited over the last couple of years. There's a lot of things we could not do, and that was the tip of the iceberg. Folks, when this comes in, you won't be able to do anything. You won't even be able to sit in your house for months on end like we did over the last couple of years. You won't be able to be in a house because they won't allow you to have a mortgage if you are not following this. Look what's happening in China with its social credit system and score. If you don't score highly on it, if you are criticizing the government, they don't let you buy train tickets. They don't let you buy plane tickets. They don't let you use your bank accounts to buy food for your family. And how much pressure will that be to all the people of the world? Even if they don't agree with the Antichrist, even if they don't agree with the world government, they will go along with it because they have no choice and they have no hope beyond this world. And so all that they have is what is here. They don't know that there is eternal life beyond. And so they're just trying to preserve as much time on this planet as they can. And so they will do whatever the government says at that point. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that has a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So in Brazil, this is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of the end, if you will. This is what's going to go around the world. If you don't do this or that the government is demanding, they will not give you money. And they will, and you say, well, I'll have cash. They're going to get rid of cash. You will say, well, I'm going to, drive out into the hills. I'm going to bug out into the hills. You won't be able to get there. You won't be able to buy gasoline. You're not going to live very long. They're going to search for you. You won't have any communications because they will track all that. You won't be, maybe if you're a single person, you can live under a rock. But it's going to be very, very hard during this period to escape from the eyes of the government, and they will likely take you to jail if you're not complying because you're going to owe people stuff. You're going to owe the bank stuff. There's going to be fines and liens against you, and you're going to say, sorry, my bank accounts are frozen, I can't pay you. And they will take you to jail because the government has frozen your accounts, and you are unwilling to comply, and you can't pay back your the folks you owe debt to, and so you will be going to jail because of those liens. You won't own anything. They will take it all from you. They will implement the requirement, and they will take you to jail because of that requirement, because you are not complying. So it doesn't matter what you do, folks. This is going to be a scary time for all of us. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you know Lord Jesus Christ is your personal Savior. He is our only hope of salvation and in the future. And scary times are coming. And a lot of people are going to be scared into taking the mark that is coming down the road.